Hello, everybody. Zong gets 134 here.
And as always, I'm Average Joe Squad.
And welcome to another episode of Hyphenated the Reviews, the show where we look at super new stuff in not a lot of time. And
Adam, what did we do to ourselves making us go see Morbius?
I wish I knew. Yeah, we saw Morbius.
And this might be one of the most fair reviews
for
of
this movie
thing on YouTube when it gets uploaded, because it actually wasn't terrible, but wasn't that great either. So, average?
Yeah.
Below average? Slightly below. Subpar.
Average.
Subpar, I guess, is best.
But,
wasn't that bad, though.
Basically, this is the movie about Michael Morbius, scientist who's trying to cure himself of a disease using bat DNA to help fix the missing chromosomes in his DNA. In doing so, turns himself into the living vampire.
Plasma.
And
listen, I just want everyone to know, me and Adam made that joke at least 4 times.
Yeah, at least 4 times.
It kept coming up because it was all I could think of.
Felicia, I love you. But no,
overall, like, I guess I'll go first.
Yeah,
not to step on you.
No, I went first on Moon Knight, so
that's fair. Honestly, I went into this movie expecting it to blow complete ass. Well, because again, I'm not a Jared Leto fan at all. I don't like the dude's music. I got nothing against him personally. Don't get that wrong.
I mean, he was kind of a dickhead to the people on the cast of Suicide Squad. But
at the same time, I don't really know the dude, so I can't really say anything against him personally. But as an actor, I've heard things. I'm not a big fan of his music, but so I kind of went into this thinking, okay, he's in it. I'm not a fan of him. I'm probably not going to enjoy a good chunk of this movie. Not to mention, I'm not a big fan of the character Morbius.
Oh my
god,
all. He's so lame.
He's a joke.
He's like one of the lamest Spider-Man villains. And
yeah,
and there's a character in the Spider-Man universe known as the Kangaroo, whose superpower is he can hop.
Oh, by the way, fun fact: the theater we went to, they were playing Spider-Man TAS in the lobby.
Were they really?
Yeah, over the bar. While we were waiting for you, me and Colin watched the entirety of the Night of the Lizard because they put it up. I was like, "Hey, TAS!"
Oh man,
they had it up on Disney Plus too. I was like, "Oh hey!"
I think for Spidey Miss this year, we should do the Morbius episodes. Just
you could do that.
Like for just the reason because it came out.
Yeah, but anyway. So overall, I went into this with very, very low expectations. I was totally expecting to walk out like, damn, I just wasted $16 because I bought this bastard's ticket too. So,
hey, it's my birthday coming soon.
Listen, it's like a running gag with us is that if we're buying the movie, okay, and we buy the other dude's ticket, generally I buy the shitty movies.
Yeah, I usually buy the fantastic ones.
I think the only good movie I've ever bought for us is
The Batman.
I bought you The Batman, and I bought you a No Way Home ticket.
Yeah.
I think those are the only 2 good movies I have genuinely ever bought this man.
Although in fairness to No Way Home, I think you did that as like a Christmas gift.
Yeah, I did.
Because I was like...
Well, I was passing a buck because Jared had bought me my ticket, so I was passing a buck. But
I mean, it was very generous of you.
Yeah, but so I went into it not expecting to like it at all, and I'm one of those people I can usually pull at least 1 or 2 good things out of a film, even if it's fucking terrible. Yeah. I mean, hell, out of Dark Phoenix, I pulled out a couple things I thought were decent.
But you did better than me. I remember when I came out of that, I was like, that was fucking ass.
But so overall, I was kind of surprised at I actually didn't hate the movie as much as I thought I was going to. I was fully prepared to hate this film, 100%. But there were times where it was actually kind of interesting, they were doing some things that I'm like, that's kind of cool, I guess, is that we're seeing it's a lot more like the science-y kind of shit, or the more medical-based stuff that we don't really see the Marvel or even the DC stuff really dive into at all. And I do. So it was kind of interesting in that regard, but
I do kind of think the horror vibes that it had kind of worked too.
Wasn't done nearly as well as the Batman.
Obviously.
But it was kind of something different. I'll give it credit. They at least tried something different than just the typical run of the mill, paint by the numbers kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll give credit where credit is due. Did it work 100% of the time in the film?
No.
I don't think so at all. There was a huge plotch of this movie right in the middle. And I remember asking him, because we went and saw it with my buddy Colin. My buddy Brian was going to come, but he couldn't make it tonight. Yeah. But I remember asking both of them, Did the middle of the movie really just fucking drag?
Oh my god!
What for anyone else, or was it just me? Like, because like I had a little bit of a headache watching the movie. You know, I had popped some aspirin and stuff before we came, just to kind of like, okay, let me down some ibuprofen and some water, try to get this headache going.
If you need more, I got.
No, I'm good now. But
I
wonder if a lot of it was the effects.
Oh my god! Some of the effects.
Some of those effects were giving me a headache.
Because like that weird,
I'm fine right now.
That weird wavy effect thing they were doing.
Yeah,
when they
I
moved,
think that was what was really doing it. But like overall, I didn't hate the movie. I didn't love the movie. For me, it was, and I don't even want to say it was average, subpar. I would definitely say subpar is probably the best thing to do.
It's slightly below average.
I'm trying to think of the right wording here. I wouldn't say I would never watch it again, but if I'm at my shelf, it's gonna be damn near one of the last titles I fucking pull out.
Yeah.
But overall, it's not terrible. It's not nearly as bad as I thought it was. It's still better than Dark World. It's still better than
probably Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix. It's still better than Origins Wolverine. But like,
which
doesn't say much.
Yeah, I was about to say that's like
saying, hey, me taking a dump in your face is better than me pissing in your face. Like that doesn't do anything at all. That's not a step up.
Yeah. For me going in, like everything he said about Morbius, I don't give a shit about the character. I saw like reviews from test audiences, and my god, everyone and their mother was like, this is like the worst movie I've ever seen. Like, I honestly think a lot of people went into this because it's Jared Leto and what he did as the Joker and Suicide Squad, I think tainted like a lot of the reviews for this.
Oh, definitely.
Because I was expecting this to be like just absolute ass. And to be fair, I saw the trailers and they looked okay.
Look at the amount of people that were like, oh, why are we going to bring Andrew Garfield back for this movie? He was fucking terrible in those Amazing Spider-Man movies. And then when the movie comes out, oh, no, listen, I always loved Andrew Garfield. Like there was a total 100% shift in the fandom as I saw it.
But like, I was watching this and I'm like, I don't really get what's so bad about this. I mean, it's really dull in places.
He wasn't fantastic as Morbius, but at the same time, like, I could really tell he was trying.
Yeah.
Like, he was trying to get at the material and stuff. And I always wonder in that case how much of that is the actor interpreting it and how much is the writer.
Yeah.
You know, like, I would like to see the script for this and just kind of see what they had to work with, and like, But overall, like, I didn't hate it. I mean, I know I keep repeating that, but I'm surprised. I didn't hate this movie. I was fully prepared to walk out of that theater and be like, I just wasted $16 motherfucking dollars on this bad movie that is terrible.
Yeah. Like I said, I do think he's not the best actor in this because like every other actor in this I think is like
just beats his ass. Yeah,
like his girlfriend in this is
Matt Smith.
Like, I mean, granted, as someone who knows him from Doctor Who, but like he was like a real treat in this. Like he really hams it up when he becomes a villain partway through.
Oh yeah.
Also, I
my god, that scene with him in the clothes and shit. I remember looking at him and being like, yeah, is this the cringe department?
To be fair, that's just how Smith is when he acts.
It was all in fun, obviously. Yeah. I was just like, everybody out there has done some shit like this at one point or another and just doesn't want to admit it.
Yeah. Well, then to be fair, I get why he's doing it. Like he had the same disease as Morbius. And like he finally is healthy and well, aside from the fact that he has to drain people of their blood. Although that scene where they try to make you think that Morbius killed that nurse, like I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, yeah, I don't really buy that. like they didn't even like bury the lead there. Like they made it really obvious who it was that killed that poor nurse. Like, would you agree? Like, that was probably one of the dumbest, like...
Yeah.
Especially because, why the fuck was she walking through Horizon Labs?
To be
fair... With the lights fucking off?
Some labs do that, though.
I mean, I get that, but, like, she could have at least turned the light on in the hallway.
Well, I mean, like, there's some that they're automated like that. Like, you can't just flip them on.
Yeah, but remember, she did flip them on.
I know, but I feel like that was an emergency switch. Like, I actually have read that, and I've seen stuff. Like, again, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I could be making shit up.
Well, then, I mean, to be fair, it's also a medical facility, so I'm assuming there's nurses there 24/7. But
even then, like, I've seen a lot of stuff, like, because I watch a lot of paranormal shows and shit, and they're always, like, talking about that, like, oh, the hospital's dark and shit. I'm like, I was willing to let that go. I certainly wouldn't be walking down a hallway with no goddamn lights on, but that's just me. Do what you will.
Yeah. But no, I like, and it's such a shame because, like, I liked Matt Smith way. I honestly wish Smith was Morbius in this.
He had a lot of on-screen presence. I felt like I don't think he blew anybody out of the water, like, in terms of, like, he didn't knock me out of my socks, basically. No, in this.
But he was at least more entertaining.
He was like, he had more of an on-screen presence, I felt.
Because, like, I feel like Leto underperforms, or not underperforms, underplays himself too much in this. Like, he's so quiet and reserved, and after a while, I'm just like, could you do a little bit more fucking emoting? Like,
yeah.
The only time he does is when he vampires out. Also, the science in this is really fucking frustrating. So, like, well, for one, they do the thing I hate in fiction where they make vampire bats out to be like these monster, bloodthirsty creatures. Despite the fact that if you actually look it up, vampire bats are like about this big. And while they do drink blood, they are more known for eating insects. When they drink blood, they drink it from like around here where your tear ducts are, or like your ankles, because that's actually where like the skin is the thinnest, so they can easily. They also again state that they only drink blood, which
isn't correct.
Right, isn't correct.
Like I said, I was willing to let that go just because I'm like, listen, I'm watching a movie. I'm not expecting this to be 100% real science, because if we were bound to 100% real science, all this shit would be boring as fuck.
Well, no, I'm not saying that, but like, it just frustrates me because like they're talking about all this science about bats,
and they're like, oh, like it's like all matter of fact and shit. And it's like that ain't fucking right.
Like, you know,
shit. I've never been. I don't believe that man's ever been to medical school.
Yeah, like. But and the other thing that pisses me off is like, okay, I get that, like, because you've gotten this DNA into you, it's turned you into like a vampire monster, and you need to drink blood. You can easily buy pork blood and see, you know, maybe that.
Which you brought that up, and I was honestly surprised they didn't even mention that, because like a lot of vampire stuff I've ever watched, like Buffy or Angel, that is always that's an alternative. I mean, like. Maybe it's different in the Marvel mythos, like because I know in other stuff, like I said, in Buffy / Angel, in that universe, that's how like Angel survives, is he drinks animal blood. Yeah. They mention it doesn't taste nearly as good,
but at least
it curbs off the feelings. Yeah, because like, but like maybe that's not the case with the Marvel vampires. I'll have to do a little more digging.
And to be fair, like. You know, because otherwise, I just wish they would have at least
stated that.
Like, he tried animal blood. Like,
it seems like a lot of an oversight, honestly.
Yeah, like he goes right to this artificial blood that he invented, which I love that they say he invented it, but like they never show him.
I was just like, I literally, when we first saw it, I was like, plasma.
Well, no, I love the artificial
plasma,
especially because you and I have been watching the Blade movies. I'm like, oh, so it's like the serum that Blade has to take.
Yeah, we literally been watching Blade this week, so we had vampire shit on the mind. I mean, we kept saying like, dude, when's Blade gonna show up with all this vampire activity going on? Come on, man, he's gotta be out there like, damn, what the hell is going on?
Well, he is, but he's in the wrong universe.
I'm afraid you're. How long ago was that movie? 98?
Yeah.
I'm afraid you're like 20 years too late. I'm like,
no, but he's able to do the artificial blood thing, and I'm just sitting there like, you know, they point out he's not technically like a vampire in the traditional sense, because and to be fair, in the comics he's not. He scientifically, well, okay, in the comics he got bit by a radioactive bat, a la how Spider-Man got bit by a radioactive spider.
Because everything was radiation.
Was radiation back then. And he he does need to drink blood, but and especially because in later comics he becomes an anti-hero. So I assume he's found some form of alternative, especially because he's like a member of like the Monster Society and the Midnight Suns.
Yeah.
And hell, I think even Blade's like, I don't really feel like I need to kill you because like you're not really a vampire. But like
Some motherfuckers are always ice skating up.
yeah, it was just really frustrating that like they didn't even like try to have him drink like animal blood just to see if maybe that would stave off the hunger.
Yeah.
But
like I said, that seems like a little bit of an oversight with stuff, but
no, like
feels weird, but I'll allow it.
Like I'm not saying it's super bad. It's just I'm just sitting there and like he's like, I have to drink this artificial blood and it's getting lower. I'm like, cool.
Like they at least address that it's like, hey, like this is a temporary fix. It's kind of like taking a medication and stuff. Like I have really bad headaches sometimes, and like I always worry about like how much ibuprofen am I taking, how much acetaminophen am I taking, because I don't want to have my body like over medicated on that shit because that's bad for you.
Yeah.
But then I'm also wondering like if I take it like all the time, is that gonna lessen how it works? You know?
Yeah. Well, then to be fair,
so like, it was kind of cool to see that at least. Like obviously not the same thing, but that they addressed like, hey, like this is a temporary fix. You know, as your body gets used to, as your body gets used to it, you know, it's gonna the effects are gonna be like, you know, it's not gonna do as much. Like, it was kind of interesting that they went with that.
Also, like they try to justify that, like, you know, Morbius isn't completely evil. Because like the only real kills he got was like killing those mercenaries, and I'm like,
who kind of fucking deserved it.
I mean, they kind of do, but at the same time, I'm like, he still murdered people. Like, I know he didn't kill like people who like innocent people. Like
the one guy was a fucking slime ball anyway.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I like for me, like it was just weird. Like I kind of like especially because he hired those mercenaries. I know I'm probably splitting hairs here. It just,
I hired you so I could fucking take you out.
Yeah, like that was like my like thing. Like they're like, it's okay. Like even the FBI agents were like, we could have forgiven that. I'm like,
call an ambulance, but not for me.
But like I don't know. And then the like some of the fucking logic. Like she gets not like. She
gets like knocked against something. She's on like almost like a coma. I'm like, the fuck does that work? That makes no sense.
I don't think she like was knocked that hard. Like if she was knocked that hard, I would assume like her neck would have snapped.
Yeah.
I also,
a la Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, a la Gwen Stacy. I also love that that Morbius makes the decision to radio for help for the girlfriend and to like, but then he decides to jump off the boat and swim from Long Island all the way and like get his way back all the way back to his lab. And I'm like, pretty sure even with his superpowers it would still take a couple hours. I don't know, it was really weird.
Again, yeah, we kind of had to suspend our disbelief a little bit for that one. But,
yeah. On the bright side, I did like how they kind of portrayed his powers.
Yeah. I like I said, I really liked it.
Although I don't understand,
the effects hurt my fucking eyes after a while. But
well, especially when they're moving, they have like these weird wavy lines.
I think that was what was throwing my eyes off.
Like I think it's
I'd kind of had like a headache for like the last half hour of our shift, so I wonder if that probably didn't help. Is what was going on.
Yeah, I think the idea with those lines is supposed to be like they're like the echolocation around them and like so it's like as they're moving, we're seeing the wind currents on them.
Yeah, that's what I took away from, which was kind of cool to see.
Yeah, it was.
Like, they didn't just straight up just have him fucking flying around and shit. They kind of tried.
Yeah, they actually show
it.
that he doesn't fly in this. He glides on air currents,
which I thought that was very cool.
Yeah,
you know, it's not like they didn't cheat out and just say he can fucking fly. Like they went and showed how it works, which I kind of liked.
No, I like that too.
It wasn't really necessary in my opinion, but it was still kind of cool to see.
I also like how they explain how the echolocation, because like now he has like these extra hairs in his ears.
I liked that, honestly.
That was actually interesting.
That was more of a case like show don't tell. You know what I mean?
Well, not like that's actually how bats' ears work. It's not just because they're big; they have little hairs that like actually cats have little hairs like that. As someone who just got a cat and like occasionally like just gets right up in their face.
So do you want to talk about the elephant in the room? What we thought was the best part of this whole hour-and-a-half movie?
Yeah.
The post-credit?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Spoilers. If you've been watching this far and you haven't clicked it off because you haven't watched it, spoiler alert. If you don't give a shit, you're not going to go see the movie because you want to hear from us poor fuckers about how it is, go ahead and keep watching. But those who don't, you've been warned.
Yeah, so basically, we get the first credit scene we see is basically we see the rift from No Way Home closing. In doing so, Adrian Toomes from Spider-Man: Homecoming is sent into the Venomverse, or well,
It has to be the fucking Tasmverse. I'm sorry.
yeah, it has to be because like it makes no sense for them because
well,
Venom
they straight up mention Spider-Man in the second post credit, so obviously there's a fucking Spider-Man in this universe.
Yeah.
It has to fucking be Andrew.
Well, especially because if Venom is here, this is a different that Venom is different than the Venom because there's in the Raimiverse there should be no Venom. Is what we're getting.
Peter killed him.
Well, he was trying to kill the symbiote. He didn't mean to kill Eddie.
Well, that's what I mean. He killed Venom the symbiote.
Yeah. Well, okay, that's fair. I guess I'm just well, I didn't mean to kill Eddie.
No, I know damn well he didn't mean to kill Eddie. Even though Eddie fucking kind of deserved it.
Well, I mean, he did kind of deserve it, but Spider-Man don't kill.
No, I know.
I mean, unless it's an alien symbiote monster, in which case, well, sorry, you got to go back to you got to go back to God.
Open season.
Yeah, but and then the second credit scene is he built himself a new suit,
and he meets up with Morbius, and he talks about not sure what I'm doing here. It's got something to do with Spider-Man though, and figure a guy like you and a guy like me, we should get together, do some good. Which we're all. I feel like that can go a couple different ways.
Yeah.
They're trying to do the Sinister Six movie that they had fucking planned long ago. If they go that route, please, for the love of God, do not make them fucking heroes. That is stupid as fuck. Yeah. Nobody wants that.
I could see Morbius
at all.
I could see Morbius being with the group and
being an anti-hero.
Yeah, because Morbius isn't really evil.
Yeah, but no Sinister Six is an upstanding
please,
vigilante group. Dear God, hell no, don't do that.
No,
please don't do that. But I don't think they're setting up to that.
No,
what I think they're setting up to is
Amazing 3.
Is Amazing 3 with Andrew Garfield's Peter going up against all these other villains.
I honestly I think that makes much more sense to me because for one, they've been talking about wanting to make Amazing 3 since No Way Home.
Yeah, not to mention there were some other Easter eggs within the movie. There's 2 scenes, actually 3, because the first one I couldn't read fuck.
Yeah, you had a lot more of the Easter eggs than me. I didn't pay attention to those.
I kept looking there are 2 scenes with the Daily Bugle newspaper that you can very, very clearly read, and the one was actually in the trailer. The other one wasn't. The first one has the up in the corner it says Black Cat on it, and then the other one has Rhino on it. So Rhino, I'm assuming, is a reference to TASM 2, and then Black Cat obviously is probably a reference to the Black Cat Silver Sable thing that they've got planned.
Which makes me...
That was a Black Cat movie at some point, but they've gone back and forth on that so long.
I'd rather they just do Black Cat than fucking Silver Sable because who cares?
Yeah, but and then I noticed on the second one that it said The Chameleon's Great Escape, which I was just like, oh God, I was like, Chameleon's gotta be in the Craven movie. Yeah, that's gotta be.
That has to. That's the
I don't
only
know
thing that
how
makes
the
sense
hell
to me.
else that would be connected, because for those who don't know, Chameleon and Craven are half brothers technically.
Yeah. They said my mother was insane.
But so I think that's what that is probably gonna build up to, is that Chameleon is gonna be in the Craven movie when it comes out, which yay.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for the Craven movie.
The only way that movie's gonna be exciting is if I watch Craven put the shotgun in his mouth.
But yeah, so those were the things I noticed off the top of my head. I'm sure if someone could get me, or if I'm sure somebody somewhere is gonna post the fucking screen cap of those new papers so we can analyze that.
Yeah.
Because the one with the chameleon on it, there was another one to the there's some more bold print on there, but I was so zoned in on that chameleon, I didn't get a chance to look at the other one before it was gone.
You were much faster at me looking at those. I need still images so I can look at them. But
I'm just trained on how to do that. It's probably because I used to do paint scheme stuff for NASCAR Racing 2003 season.
Okay.
When you get used to looking at blurry fucking footage from the 90s, and you're looking for what the fuck the sponsor is on some of these obscure cars, you get used to reading stuff at a very quick pace like that. So that's probably how I got that. But
yeah,
they were nice little nods, and I'm kind of interested where they go with those.
I mean, to be fair, they reference the fact that Morbius works at Horizon Labs, which is a reference to the Dan Slott run, which
Fuck Dan Slott.
Yay. I like that they gave credit to Howard Mackey,
Steve Ditko,
Steve
Stan
Ditko,
Lee.
Doug Moenk. Doug Moenk I know more for
Gary Conway got
Gary
thanked.
Conway. Because I want to say Gary Conway's the guy who created Morbius.
I think so.
Yeah, because Morbius was created during when he got the 6 arms, which is around the Conway era.
Yeah.
We say as we sit here being the biggest fucking Spider-Man nerds. It's got to be from the Conway era.
Quiet.
I'm also kind of glad they gave Howard Mackey some credit because that poor bastard gets so much
Dicked over by everybody.
Yeah, because he's responsible
he gets
for the
dicked
Clone
over
Saga.
about as bad as my boy Tom DeFalco does.
Yeah, because I mean, granted, like I will say his run after the Clone Saga is really fucking bad as someone who's read some of it.
Yeah.
But like that poor man was he was on Spider-Man way longer than he wanted to be. So like it's just kind of nice to see Howard Mackey get any sort of credit for anything. Actually, I wonder if that means that he was the one who made like the mini-series that gave Morbius kind of popularity.
Could be. I'm honestly not sure.
Yeah, because like I said, him and I know like barely anything about Morbius. Because like I don't read Morbius like anything. Also, I think I have like two fucking comics that he's in that are, like I'm talking actual like floppies, not my omnibuses, because I'm sure he's in one of my amazing volumes, that my big fucking hardback omnibuses. I'm sure he's in there somewhere. Well, if you got the one with the 6 arms saga in it,
yeah,
yeah.
I remember when I showed him, I had a floppy, like an original floppy single issue of the one with Peter's got 6 arms and Morbius is on the cover. I remember you were like, "Can I buy this off of you?" And I'm like, "No."
No,
Sorry.
thankfully, eventually, I got
a
a reissue of that issue.
Well, and I remember like I found you another copy of it at Action Toy Man for $1. I was like, here, like, because the only reason I didn't sell it to him was it was one of my uncle's comics, and I don't want to part with
to be
those.
fair, that story's really stupid, but like that's like one of the most classic moments in
This
Spider-Man
motherfucker's
history.
got an action figure of him.
Yeah,
with the 6 arms.
Yeah,
I don't even have that.
I had a figure of him from the '90s cartoon show and a figure of Man Spider at one point, despite the fact that Man Spider story is really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But it is kind of sad. I don't think we're ever going to get a movie where Peter gives himself two extra sets of arms.
They're never going to do that shit.
I mean, never say never. Given those.
Listen, motherfucker, the Jessica Drew movie will happen before that shit ever happens.
Well, I mean, yeah, because
that's in development right now.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame we're not ever going to get probably Spider-Woman Agent of Sword, but there's one scene I had to say that's really stupid. Like just before we finally sign off, I hate how he beats Matt Smith's character.
Oh my god, with the Batman Begins-esque bullshit.
Where he,
I was like, get the fuck out of here with
like
this.
They established early on he has like a kinship with bats because he himself is part bat, and I was kind of fine with that. Actually, I remember I was watching the bats hugging him. I'm like, get the fuck out of here with that. But then he uses them as like projectiles, and I'm like, you guys have super strength. What the fuck is that gonna do to you?
Yeah, like, what the fuck is that, dude? No, I don't know what the fuck that was. That was that man just fucking like used some cheat codes or some shit. I don't know what that was.
No one messes with the master of Bat Fu.
Oh my god, no. Howard the Duck's bullshit makes more sense than that.
Oh, that would have also been a great ending of the.
What, Howard the Duck shows up?
Howard the Duck shows up and stakes him like he does Bessie the Vampire.
So, buddy, is this gonna be easy or is this gonna be trouble? Just gonna what we do. We working Howard the Duck into these fucking movies. I'm okay with that, by the way, because I like Howard. But
like I said, in the comics...
I know for a fact if Riley were in here, he'd be jumping out the fucking window trying to get away.
And like I said, in the comics, Howard has fought vampires before, albeit a vampire cow. Oh, yeah, but he staked a vampire.
Vampire's vampire.
But I also
love... let him know it's open season on all bloodsuckers.
I also love how the hero... Like, at the end, they have Matt Smith in a white suit, and they have Morbius in a fucking black outfit.
Like, yes, we get it.
Yes, we get it.
Yang, yes, thank you for the symbology.
Yang and the hero's the black.
Anybody with a pair of eyes can see.
And making the hero black, because, like, the black is the color of evil, but making the bad guy in white...
Stop. Yeah. So, overall, ratings. I'm going to give this... I'll go first again.
Yeah,
because
that's fair.
I'm going to give it a solid 6 out of 10. I feel like I'm being generous.
Yeah. I'm going to give it a 5. It was... Like, I don't even think, like a 6 is, like, a passing grade for me, but, like...
Oh, mine's Mine's like a minus, needs improvement.
Yeah, like
I feel bad for you, so I'm gonna give you a good fucking grade, but I feel bad for you.
I'm gonna give it a 5. If it weren't so slow in places,
and just goofy with some science,
and goofy with the science, I probably would have given it a 6 because I'm like, at least we got to see some cool fights. Like there's like almost no action in this, and I'm not saying
where's the meat?
Yeah, like, and I'm not saying that, like a superhero movie should be almost just nothing but action.
I needed a little more to go on.
But my God, like people were complaining about how slow and how little action there were in the Batman, but it had way more action than this.
Yeah, like when that complaint was going on, I didn't get that fucking.
No, I didn't get that either. Like,
I don't know what movie they watched. I didn't watch the same movie I did.
Well, then this especially because like I didn't mind that Batman doing more detective work.
Yeah,
because that's what the Batman's supposed to fucking do.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was really, really dull. I wouldn't recommend getting a ticket for this. If you're really curious about seeing it,
wait for it to hit streaming.
Wait for it to hit streaming or like a DVD release, like
or pirate.
Well,
the secret ingredient is crime.
I don't think it's bad enough that it warrants pirating, but
fuck the corporations.
Okay, that's fair. But yeah, like honestly, like there's better movies out right now to go see. Go see the Batman again. It's still in theaters.
That's where our buddy Jared went and did. He went and saw that again.
Yeah, there was something in the way. But yeah, I can't really say I'd recommend going to pay like theater price for this.
Yeah.
I would honestly wait and buy it on Blu-ray or watch it when it hits streaming sites.
Yeah, so that was Morbius. Next big movie event for us is going to be the big one.
Oh yeah, Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. Which, thank God, I'm actually looking. I'm like,
I've never. Okay, I take it back. This is probably the most hype I've been for a movie since No Way Home. And yes, I know that's cheating, but accurate.
I don't know.
I was hyped as fuck for No Way Home, even more so than Multiverse. But after seeing what they were able to do with No Way Home, I'm really eager to see what else they can pull off.
I don't know. I worry more that the problem is most of this movie is gonna get overblown by what like the ending is, like what we're getting from it, especially given like
I don't know.
Like I feel like the ending is going to make or break how people feel about that movie.
I got faith in my man Sam Raimi.
I mean,
I got faith.
Well, I do too. I just worry that like my worries are more people are going to see it and be like, I don't think that was really what I was hoping it was for. But to be fair, I'm going in very excited for it regardless because
like I said, let me see. It's Doctor Strange. It's gonna be good. Multiverse shit. I'm hooked. Sam Raimi directing. Danny Elfman doing the score. What's not to love?
If the fact that they don't make mutants a thing. I'm just saying.
Motherfucker, I read this script months ago when it leaked.
I mean, yeah, but like we have no idea if they decided to change that script because they got leaked.
I don't think they would do that.
I'd hope not, but
anyway, that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Tune in next time for some more good shit.
Yeah, hopefully we'll actually
whatever it is.
Yeah, hopefully we'll actually get
entertaining.
Hopefully we'll actually get an actual remember the hyphen out instead of a couple hyphenated reviews. But that's just the nature of the beast.
I think what's the next one we're looking for? Blade with our special guest.
Well,
unnamed as of yet, but
hopefully
y'all have seen him before.
I'm hoping we're also getting started on the theme month. We will,
but if we do that, Blade's gonna come first. That way we keep all the theme stuff together. I think that's fair.
I guess that's fair.
But until next time, guys. I'm Average Joe Squad.
And I'm Zangetsu 134.
As always,
we ask you,
remember the hyphen?
And take care.